Hello everyone, this is Prashant from SIPFund.com. I'm a founder and CEO for SIPFund.com. It's a portal, online portal as well as a mobile app, and we have close to more than 50,000 users on it. We have offices across India in Delhi, Pune, Bangalore, Nagpur, and a small town, Shimoga. We have started this series of debt mutual fund for retail. It's a more education series where we will address the concerns of retail on selection process of debt mutual fund. Now, to address that and to answer these difficult questions, difficult scenarios from a retail point of view, we have today Mr. Lokik Bagwe. He is a fund manager for DSP Mutual Fund, and he has around 20 years of experience in fund management, portfolio management, risk management. He's been with DSP Fund House since 2007, and he has PGDBA from ICFI Hyderabad, and he is managing some flagship funds of DSP like DSP US Flexible Equity Fund, DSP Global Allocation Fund, DSP Short Term Fund, and few other important schemes. Welcome, Mr. Lokik Bagwe. So, thank you very much for giving us time to answer questions on debt mutual funds. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for calling.
Okay. So pleasure is asked. So what we'll do now is I have some questions on difficulties that a retail investor faces while selecting debt mutual fund. I'm going to ask more from advisor's point of view as well as from the retail investor's point of view. And the first foremost question, I will give a little background to this. See, when you have a corporate setup, you have analysts and staff to assess and measure the risk that treasury takes in investing into debt mutual fund. So for a treasury of a corporate, it's very easy to identify which mutual fund, which debt mutual fund to invest in. But when it comes to retail, individual person is what I'm referring to by meaning of retail. An individual person probably doesn't have so much of information or so much of knowledge about the debt fund for him to go and pick a debt fund for investment. And therefore, if you look at selection process, normally an advisor would tell a retail investor saying, look, if you want more than FD, here is a debt fund. Why don't you invest in a debt fund? And this is where my first question is, how different it is in terms of risk for an investor investing in a debt mutual fund vis-a-vis a fixed deposit.
First of all, thank you for inviting us. For retail investors, they should understand there is we are heading towards structurally declining interest rate scenario. So what it used to be 3 years back and current scenario, it is totally different. What it used to be 10 years back and current scenario, it is totally different. Okay, so we'll have to give a thanks to inflation, GDP growth, and economic cycles. Okay, so this particular interest rate cycle looks meaningfully different from last 3 years, from last 10 years, and it is going to be here for another coming years for sure. So for a retail investors, when they are investing into FD or into a debt funds, they should first of all define their investment horizon. That is my utmost request, is like they should first define how much is their investment horizon for it. So if they're investing for more than 3 years, yes, they can compare their returns with the FD part of it or the FD returns. But at the same time, the moment you invest into the debt funds for more than 3 years, you will start getting an indexation benefit. So for FD returns to compare with, you will have to have an investment horizon for 3 years and more. Okay. Only then you can start comparing with FD part.
Okay, that's really useful piece of information. So now, from a returns perspective, that's what, it's comparable to FD. My next question is on selection of a debt fund. So normally what retail would do or an individual investor would do is he would look at the historical returns for a given scheme and simply pick it and say, this is it. It has given me 8%, 9% in the past, and it's therefore I will pick this one and that's it. I'm done. So that's one perspective which majority of people investors have, and I would like you to walk us through as to whether this is the right method to do, or is there anything else one individual investor should do for fund selection?
Now, as you started with historical returns, now let me start with that. It's like before starting your investments, okay, investor can check their track record of that particular fund and their fund performance, okay, before investing. But at the same time, they should look the investment philosophy behind their style of investments, not only returns, because what it requires is an investment philosophy, your investment style of investments, which and the consistency behind maintaining that kind of portfolio over a period of time. This is the utmost requirement in itself. Okay. Second part is for a retail investment, they should have that what we call it as like a targeted investments or ladder your investment in itself. Okay. Now to give you example, like if you have a very short cash which is available with you, you can park your money into liquid funds. If it is a requirement for a more than 3 months or maybe like up to 1 year, you need a cash only after 1 year. So your investment can go into the buckets of ultra short or a low duration fund kind of stuff. If it is a more than 1 or roughly like 2 to 3 year, you can start investing into a quality portfolios of short-term fund or a banking PSU, which invest into a 2 to 3 year kind of asset classes. So if it is a matches with your investment horizon, okay, the portfolio is a perfect match to remain invested with.
That's great. So if we want to ask Mr. Laukik is, when it comes to terminologies like credit risk, duration and YTM, whereas some advisors understand what this is, the retail investors have got no clue what this is all about. And we hear it, a lot of investors hear it very often. Could you please elaborate a little bit as to what are these things that what are these things in general and how a retail should read them?
So Prashant, SEBI has given a very clear bifurcation as far as each and every product is concerned. So they have very categorically mentioned about 1 day product or a 3-month product or 1 year, 3 year and so and so. So duration wise, it is very clear from the SEBI and product and their categorization is concerned. Okay. Second part is about your risk and your risk appetite. So most of our risk appetite defines your investments also. So there is like, if you have got a larger credit appetite for that matter, you can certainly look into the totally AA kind of portfolios, which comes with a high risk kind of, which is called as a credit risk fund. Then there are semi or medium term category, which comes into the picture, which is investment into the 3 to 5 year or a 5 to 7 year kind of investments. So those particular categories invest only into the duration of 3 to 5, 5 to 7. Okay. And the last but not the least is about the credit quality of the portfolio. Okay. So every portfolio comes with its own risk and risk parameters defined for it, right from duration towards credit profile. And the third part is about the overall their investment horizon is into. So if you are investing into 1 day product, it is nothing but an overnight scheme in itself. If it is a liquid scheme, I am supposed to invest only up to 90-day assets. Okay, that's the period. Okay, if it is ultra short or a low duration, so ultra short, I am supposed to invest only into the 6-month product. Okay, low duration is only up to the 1 year product, whereby my investment can go into the 6 months to 1 year. That is, I'm talking about modified duration part of it. Okay. If it is a credit fund, let me take on the extreme right part of it. I have to have an investment into 65% only into the AA and below rated assets. Okay. So investors should aware of the fact what they are investing into it. Basic thumb rule, if it is a higher the YTM, consider that is a higher the risk. Okay. So if it is investing into a AAA quality portfolio, there is not much of a risk involved in it. But at the same time, there can be a duration kind of risk which involves into it. So there is a higher the YTM, higher the risk, higher the duration. Okay, it will come with a higher the risk, but at the same time, it will have a volatility in itself. Okay, quality portfolio gives you a consistency. Quality portfolio makes a less of volatility. Okay, so these are some 3 to 5 thumb rules which retailers can invest into it. So categorization is the most important part as far as SEBI is concerned. Then quality of the portfolio is the another second most important part, which a retailer should follow very closely and very diligently. So it is like your third is nothing but when you are investing, at the same time your investment horizon should also match with the duration horizon of that particular scheme. So that is where your duration wise investment which matters. So ultra short can invest only up to 6 months. So that is where first I have informed, if it is a money is only up to 1 year, you can invest into ultra short or a low duration fund. Okay. So third is again, if your investment profile is longer than 2 year or a 3 year, then you can think of investing into a short term fund, banking PSU, because it predominantly keeps a modified duration of 2 year, 3 year, and so on. Okay, so it perfectly matches with your requirement in itself. So that is how you'll have to match as far as retail investments are concerned.
So that's fantastic. I mean, these duration, high, low, and then therefore quality. These are the things that come into the education part of the investors, where we need to explain to them, look, high quality means AAA and therefore lesser risk and maybe less interest rate also, and therefore a duration, if it's a duration kind of fund, so 3 years, 5 years, so it's very clear.
Yeah.
So that's a really useful piece of information and really good tips, Mr. Lokit Yogla, you have given. Thank you for joining us, and hope maybe do one more session with you later on. So
okay.
Really enlightening session. Thank you very much, and good luck. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us, and stay home, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.